Werewolves can shift anytime, usually between 13 to 18. Earlier or later was rare, but it did happen. Once you shifted, you were considered part of the pack. You would start training, doing border patrols, and taking a more active role in the pack. You would also start going to the gatherings for finding your mate. It was held once every quarter and changed locations. This quarter it was at our pack Midnight Moon. We weren't the biggest pack, or maybe even top 5, but we were still fairly large territory with 300-400 werewolves. We were also pretty popular because we were right in the middle, meaning you didn't have to travel as long and most packs surrounding us would come. The themes and activities would vary. Picnics, sports days, dances, drive-in movies, bowling, ice skating. There has been a lot over the years. This time though, the current Luna and Melissa, being the beta's mate, decided that a fantastical ball was in order. Ball gowns and suits. Music and chandeliers. Princes and princess basically was their theme. They planned on using one of the older abandoned homes, which did look a castle, and renovated it over the past month to be set for the gathering. We wouldn't be having another one until the year after, so they wanted it to be memorable. I had never been to one. I shifted when I was 12 and my father had beaten me an inch to death, saying that I didn't deserve a wolf. My shift was never recorded, and all record of me basically evaporated into thin air. I didn't go to school. Melissa said that I would be bullied and she was saving me from school. So I basically didn't exist anymore within my pack. I wasn't allowed out of the house and I was never allowed to shift, ever. I didn't even know how to mind link, something that comes with being a part of the pack when you shift. But it was different this time. Maddie had shifted this year, and this would be her first gathering. I don't know how I got tossed into the mix, but Ty, Maddie and I were required to go. I wasn't looking forward to it outside the food. The idea of having a full meal without getting thrown out of the dining room, because I was souring the taste, sounded heavenly. But finding a mate was not my top priority. Maybe to get the rejection over with. My body was covered in scars that never healed, blind, and not even registered in the pack. No one in their right mind would want me. So the rejection was inevitable, and it was something that I knew would hurt, and I just wanted to get it over with. I was leaving the next morning anyways. My father and Melissa had decided when I was 8 that I was old enough to work at a factory just outside of the pack boundaries. The factory's shady hiring practices fit perfectly with their idea of putting me to use. So they would drive me to the border and drop me off. From there, I would walk over to the factory. They would run 3 months on, 4 months off. It was probably why I was able to stick out the abuse they put me through. At least, it kept Kai settled. All my money would go to them. Over the years though, I had built up my own life outside of the pack. I had stopped working at the factory. They still thought I worked there, and I still brought home my paycheck, so they never asked nor cared. I funded Melissa's lavish lifestyle. She refused to get a nail dirty for fear of breaking one of them, so she didn't have a job other than gossiping with the other, high-class women of the pack. I made up for everything my father lacked in money, which made him despise me more. Ori, Ty whispered through the door. I blinked. I must have fallen asleep. Yeah. I heard the door silently unlock and open. Ty climbed onto my bed and handed me a sandwich and a glass of water. He sat down, looking me over. You okay? I nodded, munching on the sandwich. You won't be if father catches you. He scoffed. At most he would give me a stern talking to. He paused. You sure you okay? I'm fine, Ty, really. I think they want to make sure that I look okay for the gathering. Kai pushed her eyes onto mine and I could see Ty staring at the door. You worried about tomorrow? He shook his head and looked back at me. If I find my mate, I'll leave here. But who will sneak you food or make sure you have bandages? Maddie is far too loud. I laughed quietly. It was true. She was like a bull and had no sense of stealth or being quiet. Well, I head to the factory tomorrow. So there is at least 3 months of not being here. Then after that, I guess I'll just try and survive. You could become a rogue. I know you have people who can help. He said it so quietly, even being literally a foot from him. If I didn't have werewolf hearing, I might not have heard him. I could. I've thought about it. Ty's face snapped to me, visible shock written on his face. Please. Don't you think I've thought about actually being free? About all my options? It's always been a possibility. I just don't want to leave you guys. Have their anger turn to the two of you. I'm still your older sister. He nodded, grimacing a little as I finished the glass of water, and I handed it back to him. If you need help. I smiled. I know, Ty, I know. Thanks. Again. I gave him a small chuckle. Once he left, I closed my eyes, trying to sleep. Maybe we will find our knight in furry armor tomorrow, and he will take us away from all this. Kai mused. I laughed. You're too optimistic. He will reject us and we can get on with our lives. You don't know that, Ori. He may love us even more. We are one of a kind. This time, I rolled my eyes. We are definitely one of a kind. A kind that no one wants. Now sleep, Kai. Otherwise we will look like the living dead in the morning. She grumbled. Okay. But I still hold out hope. And that's what I love about you, Kai. Sleep came soon and I slept dreamlessly, a rare occurrence considering the nightmares I had. I didn't wake up until there was banging at my door.